I crave violence.
All right, Davey, I got that in the first few seconds of recording. So I crave violence. Good morning. My name's Daniel. This is my cat, Chewy. If nobody ever has seen Chewy, she lives within, a foot of me at all times, and I love her. And anyway, Davey and my other players crave violence, so I will give it to them. Yeah, so, anyway, what? I mean, sorry, I'll give your players, your characters will receive violence and give it. Anyway, it's good to be back. We're doing a shorter gap this week, because I will be out next week, and then we'll be back the week after. So, looking forward to it. Let's see. Let's get into I was almost gonna do a pretend recap like we did last week, and I was just gonna read like the Star Wars title crawl from Revenge of the Sith until people stop me, but I just remembered that I was gonna do that now, and so I didn't prepare it. Anyway, I should know it by heart, as we all should. Well, let's get a D100 roll for our warm-up question. So ready. It's a 14 from Shade. I think we've had this one. Has your character ever been in love? We've had that one, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And go back to insert episode title here to hear that one. I don't know why it's too late now, but I should have a spreadsheet that says, hey, each episode, this is the question we asked, and these are the answers. I didn't do that. I'm sure I can go back and do it, but that's a lot of work. Let's see. Zarion has rolled a 68. Oh boy. Okay. So here's what this requires: a small amount of setup beforehand. I need each of you to assemble your characters in a virtual circle, and just do that however you will. Tell me what the circle order is. You can even do it on the map if you'd like to do it on the map.
Yeah.
You have the game paused, so we can't.
Oh. You have the game paused. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
For the purposes of this, do we need to have like an NPC in the circle as well in order to make that work?
If you would like a particular NPC, I can drop them in.
Well, we don't really know what this is yet, though. That's the problem.
And it kind of doesn't work if you know. Well,
should we put the dragons in too? Or no?
No, just the characters. And this is the only time that I'll say go ahead and pick the NPC before you know the question.
Are you saying that
Adrian is already on the map?
Adrian is already on the map. Okay, I mean, your dragons are characters, yes. But they're not NPCs that I control exclusively. This is fun. This is like a little team building exercise here.
Should we hold hands?
Is this the order? Okay, there we go.
I guess put Adrian in the circle somewhere.
Alright, yeah. Y'all drop him in wherever you want. It's hard to make
move him, so...
Oh.
He's up here.
I got it. It's hard to make a 5-sided shape with a grid. Okay, so the question is, the player character to your left and the player character to your right are both telling you two different versions of the truth. Who does your character believe?
Jade.
I mean, that's fair. Between Shade and Adrian.
Hardly know him.
We're gonna hurt some feelings with this question.
It really depends on what the truth is. Like, it really does. Because it's between Theagenes and Theo. Like, depending on...
We barely know that guy. Come on. We've been through so much.
If it has to do with death and stuff, then definitely Theagenes. If it has to do with the Goblet of Malta, then definitely Theo. Like...
Sounds like you're dodging the question.
I don't know. I think Malta
Sounds like sounds like you're dodging the question.
Malta is his least reliable topic.
I'm talking about he's rock solid on Malta.
I'm talking about bias.
See, you're just upset that I didn't pick you.
Shade, I'm gonna need an answer.
I'm gonna have to go with it. If it doesn't have to do with artificing, it's gonna be Theagenes, because he's gonna have that grounded world weary view, and it's like I'd rather have the negative side of it and then go from there than the positive and get cut down.
You think Theo is positive?
A lot of the time.
Ish.
Wow, this is a
All
hard
right.
one.
I think I see how it is.
Okay, Theagenes, who would you believe between Magus and Shade?
I think Theagenes respects Magus's intelligence and would believe him on most things, but
Here it comes.
if he gets too optimistic, it's gonna be hard to follow him there. So maybe if he's talking about our chances against the gods, I'm gonna have trouble believing him.
See, a lot of it's conditional.
So that's Shade then.
No, I'll go with I'll go with Theagenes.
Me, I trust
Believe
only myself.
No, I'll go with Magus, unless he's being too upbeat.
Okay.
Which is always.
Small, medium caveat there.
I said what I said.
All right, Magus, will you trust your in-game brother or Theagenes?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Adrian because Adrian does not take mind-altering drugs.
That's fair. That's fair.
That is fair. That's fair.
And Adrian, who is Adrian gonna pick? I mean, between his
Definitely
brother
Theo, yeah.
or Theo, this satyr artificer that he's
His
known
cousin.
for. Yeah, I mean, they are blood related. That's true, Adrian and Theo. Oh man, that's a really good point. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? I'm actually gonna roll a percentile die. No, he
wounding me to the core.
He would probably believe Magus.
Nobody believes Theo. Wow.
Oh, nobody believes Theo. Oh no.
Oh.
You know what? This is the episode that Theo breaks rank.
Yeah, I think it might be time.
It's like, this oath of friendship sucks. Okay, well that was a spicy question. Thank you for participating. Yeah, awesome. Well,
Man, we should have replaced Adrian with Kyra. That would have been interesting.
Oh, sure would have. I mean, if for bonus flavor you want to introduce Kyra in there. No. I'll let you speculate on that. All right. So who would like to? I mean, I know it's only been a week, so somebody can probably deliver a recap. It ain't me.
Let's see. I'll try.
No, go for it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so help me out with where we began. We began at the entrance to the temple.
Was your idea.
We began looking at trees.
Looking at tree. Oh, that's right. Okay. Thank you, Magus. All right, so we were looking at some trees, and Magus, as usual, displayed an inordinate amount of interest in them, and braved a sandstorm in order to read them. And he found some very interesting stuff, including that witch god? Thanos? Kentamane?
Thanos.
It wasn't Thanos. Okay, that was a wrong guess. Kentamane, maybe it was Thanos he was running from, because Kentamane was running to this part of the world, and that seems to be how things got started. But the sandstorm proved to be too much, so I think you dimension doored back to safety. Disappointed that you couldn't look at more. Because of the sandstorm, and there were hundreds of these standing petrified trees,
At least.
yeah. So then we encountered a young and more than usually stupid centaur who invited Theo to church, and Theo said, "Yes, take me to church." And we all didn't know what he meant.
Yeah.
First,
I'll worship at the shrine.
I'll worship like a horse at the shrine of your goblin.
that's right. And we went to visit this religious worship area, and found a statue to our favorite goddess, as well as a small and weird statue to the Goblin of Malta, which appears to have some kind
your favorite goddess?
What? I mean, and let's see what else happened. There was some magic associated with the statue, and then we decided not to investigate that further because it was weird. And we went to the temple in order to see what was going on there. And there were scorpions being fought by young, what are they called?
Arisians.
Arisians. I don't remember any of the names.
The man from Arisia.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
It's early.
It is early. For
It's
those
so
of you,
early,
some
and
of us, not me, on the West Coast, awoke at 5 a.m. to play, or awoke earlier.
Also not
than 5.
me. So.
Yeah.
I have been up since 4:30 though. Okay, so let's see. One of them got bisected, I think, or possibly just decapitated.
Decapitated.
Yeah, decapitated.
Which is bisected.
It is true,
if your
just
head
like
is really
unevenly bisected. Asymmetrical bisection, not being a survivable condition. He died, and Theagenes was upset because he feels that this is a stupid and wasteful Oresian ceremony. And the guy kept pushing his buttons. He did offer us information if we could defeat a couple of scorpions, which we did pretty handily,
Yeah.
I think.
Nailed it.
And except for discovering, I think that they had something special to do with electricity. Wasn't there something there?
Yeah, that was super great.
Yeah.
They like involuntarily thrashed around with electricity.
Oh, right.
I punished the DM for that.
Which actually,
That's
can
right.
can I add something? Like this is sort
Yes.
of this is sort of bragging on myself a little bit, but the stat block I used actually had nothing to do with electricity. It did have an ability where if they receive heat or fire damage of a certain amount, they would do the same thing. They would flail and attack something random. But then when Magus used an electrical attack, I was just looking at the stat block. I'm like, you know what? It makes more sense for this to work with electricity than fire anyway. So I just changed it, and there we go. So that's
Away from the element I specifically avoided because it would probably do something.
Well, exactly. So I mean, like, yeah. So if you had used fire, it would have done the exact same thing. but because you chose lightning and lightning just made more sense, you didn't use fire because you thought it'd be immune to the damage. So
This is true.
It wasn't immune to the damage. It just makes more sense for lightning to cause some sort of thrashing thing. Anyway, I thought it was cool. So.
Anyway, that's our DM who has a DN doctorate in biology.
Hello.
And let's see. I think after that we left the temple, and dun dun dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
The sandstorm came up, and our friend Fallen disappeared, and we're all very upset and swearing revenge.
Yes.
And that was our cliffhanger ending.
Yeah, it was. Well done. Take E inspiration.
Woohoo!
Also, Asymmetric Bisection is my new metal band name. Thank you very much. Cannot wait. My logo is going to be unreadable. But it's going to have a line straight, or not straight through the middle. Kind of. Anyway. You know what? I'm just going to cancel the rest of the session and plan my my new band. No, great recap. Thank you so much. We are. We'll just pick right back up there. Let me cue the sandy, the winds and the sad music. Where's that wind? Desert winds. Under D for desert winds. And then let's do
Logistics question.
Yeah, logistics.
It was like
question.
late evening when we like finished with the scorpions and stuff, right?
I would say it was more like early afternoon.
Okay. Well, the big question is, are we gonna rest before we go? Because Shade is like at half health, so.
Yeah, and Magus is all out of top spells.
So yeah, all right.
Yeah, so Magus has just tried. Actually, Magus, would you describe your efforts to try to track down Falvin after noticing he was disappeared?
Yeah, so first, Magus attempted to cast Sending to contact Falvin, and it's connected with his being, but there was no reply. Following that, he got Theagenes to use his arcane eye to have a look around, and the arcane eye spotted that the statue of the goblin was holding a magic lantern, and that the statue of Lutheria, in this metaphorical vision sense, was holding a child to her close. Also, in the midst of the sandstorm, Shade had noticed a flash of purple light. And so Magus, already having suspected or having heard that the statue of Lutheria was brought to Scorpion Island by teleporting black cloaks, contacted Condris and asked if he happened to know anything about what happened. To which Condris replied, "Sorry, I just need to borrow him for a bit." And then Magus used another spell to threaten Condris, and it didn't work. Magus then, after Zerion retrieved Sprout from the Ultros, attempted to use Thelia's Tether, which is a combination spell that he can perform with Sprout to pull anyone from anywhere in Thelia, and it started but was cut short by some external force. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The takeaway from this is probably that, like, Thelia is watching, not Thelia, but Lutheria is watching, and magical methods will not work, or at this time, direct action will not work to get Falben back.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so that's part of why Magus is EP and needs to sleep. Since he did some spells. Mm-hmm. So yeah, where would you guys like to rest? I mean, there are definitely places near the village that you could try to rest, or back on the ship.
I was thinking we'd just go back to the Ultras.
Okay. Yeah. You go back to the Ultros, and Reldrissa, or Kai, sorry, the captain. The captain? Who is the guy that is like at the wheel when you're not there? Anyway,
Helmsman?
Helmsman.
Right. Yeah.
Right. He he lets you know that Reldrissa returned and went below deck. Yeah, I don't know if there's any like RP and stuff you guys want to do on the ship. Absolutely welcome.
Magus is just going to be like standing on the deck, like against the railing, just looking out into the ocean forlornly.
Yeah. Any players gonna walk up to him? If not, I'll have an NPC walk up to him.
I will walk up to him
Love it.
and I will say, normally this is my position.
I suppose it's familiar for you, isn't it? Someone beyond your reach.
That's true. But if Falbin were dead, you would have been able to find him, would you not?
At least then, yeah, then I'd have an idea of the location. I don't know, does the underworld still count as a part of Thelia? Maybe. I don't know.
I'm not sure I know either, but I do know that if he's not dead, then he can be found.
I hope so. I really hope so. I'm just a man, Theagenes. Beneath it all, I'm still just a man. I can understand any language, but I can't read the trees. I can divine any lore, but I can't know what's hidden by the oath. And I can devise magic that can reach across all of Thelia, but I can't get my friend.
If you could do everything for yourself, why would you have friends?
But it's what they need me to do.
They give you a reason to do anything.
I'd ask you how you cope, but I think I already know.
I do have extra.
No. No.
Well, offering comfort's not really my place. So, And then I'm just gonna awkwardly back into the bushes, Homer Simpson style.
Diogenes, one of the sailors, Alexios, kind of creeps up and says, Master Diogenes, I heard you say you had extra of that lotus.
Not for you.
Hi, fair. Anyway.
Thank you. Anyways, Diogenes.
Jade would actually.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I really do walk away because Diogenes doesn't know what else to say.
Perfect. And Shade there?
I'm gonna say probably around the same time once we get back to the ship. Jade would go to Theo.
Okay.
Theo,
Shade.
we are probably going to encounter more sandstorms like that. Can you make something to help? I guess kind of like a tether line or something to attach all of us together so one of us doesn't get pulled away
Or you all do.
individually again.
Absolutely. I've got an ID card thing on it, and I think if we just made one big enough for people, that would be great. And
Wait, you mean the little thing that zips like from your waist?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I think also eye and face covering would be a good idea as well.
Yes. Good point.
Steros, right? He's on the ship. Steros, the Jenkin. He says, "I'm sorry, I overheard. You need more grappling hooks."
I could use those as components.
If you let me borrow yours, I think I could have 3 more prepared by tomorrow.
Okay, sweet.
Cool. So he'll take that and go study it and make a few more by the end of the long rest.
Nice.
It's like
And I'll start working
Kinda-
on the map. 'Cause that's what Theo does. He throws himself into projects so that he doesn't have to think about people being lost.
Mood.
I'm going to my room.
yeah. Jade would just kind of like nod. Thank you, Theo. Then head back to his room.
All right. If there's any other RP, feel free to interrupt me. But we'll go ahead and kick off the long rest. You guys go ahead and heal up. Get your
Actually,
sure.
I think at some point later in the afternoon, Gageros is going to come up to Magus.
Yeah.
Probably after like visiting Reldrissa, and he's going to say, Magus, I don't want to be left behind if you get taken. Oh, I don't have any intention of being taken. I know, but still, There's supposed to be a bond, right? Something special between us? There is an oath that I swore before you hatched to look after you until you were, and to bring you into a world where you were able to make a decision if you wanted to take the other oath that is typically between a dragon and their rider. Yeah, that one. You do know that it's a serious lifelong thing. It's not a game. Like, I know, but who else would I bond with? Tell you what. Let's think. I'm honored that you say this. Let's think about it a bit, okay? Let's wait, and maybe after we leave this island, and you can see what it's like, maybe for the centaurs, and maybe talk with Full-On about what it is like to swear to have a rider. Okay. And yeah, that's Kageros will probably like just curl up under Magus' desk or something.
Love it. Aw. It's weird being on the other end of a DM to NPC type conversation. That's good. Also, definitely want to give, I forgot, a posthumous shout out to Theagenes' line. What was that first reply about friends? Like you can't do everything yourself. That's why you have friends or something.
Yeah, if you could do everything for yourself, why would you have friends?
Right. Oh, I literally chef kissed the camera. That's very good. It's tough when I'm listening to like great like interplayer RP, and I want to be like, yeah, good one, good line, love that, but I don't want to interrupt. Anyway, that was a good interchange. Okay, so we'll go ahead and proceed forward. 8 hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That makes it. That's 10. Yeah, go ahead.
What?
That's 10
I
o'clock.
was saying, before we go all the way through the night or whatever, or get too far, Shade would have talked to Sprout and asked her to stay with Reldrissa. Just, so Reldrissa's not alone.
She, of course, agrees. And she says, can she maybe stay in our room if she wants?
If she wants, she's more than welcome. But I think she might want to stay in Falbin's. But you can ask.
Can I bring my plant into her room?
Certainly.
I will have Bullbug help me drag it. Anyway, so the 8-hour long rest does put you at like 10 at night, which, if you guys want to travel at night, that's totally fine. It might even be better because of the heat and all that. But if you want to wait till daylight too, that's fine. Just however you want to handle it.
There is actually one thing before we do our long rest. I'm going to come up to the others and I say, like, I just realized something. Of course, like, our first priority is with Falbin, but Falbin was carrying the crystal blade.
The crystal blade.
If
Yes.
he's been taken to Lutheria, that's a completely other angle to this.
Crystal blade that has Estor's soul entrapped.
Yes.
Also the same blade that Demetria obtained specifically outside of Lutheria's awareness.
Yes. So, I don't know if Demetria might need further protections, like with Graxus, or I'm going to actually, like, I'm going to see if I can check on this. I'll use my armband. No, I will use my short rest to recharge the spell, enough spells to do sending again.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast Sending to Cror. And in order to do this, I have to roll a d20 to make sure it goes through because this is cross-planar, and it does. And I am going to say, our friend Falbin has been kidnapped. Potentially to Lutheria. Can you tell us the state of ownership of the Crystal Dagger prison?
The reply is, my link with the little one has been broken. However, a new link has not yet been formed.
Troubling.
That's what I'm here for.
So yeah, I will. So I will relay this to the group. So, like, Falbin is no longer in possession of the dagger, but the dagger doesn't have a new owner yet. So either, well, I can only imagine that whoever took it away from him knows something about it, not to form a link with it.
Well, that's one potential threat. Delayed for the time being.
Yeah, I guess we don't have to worry about Estor possessing someone else.
It's a pretty cool move of Condris to, get the dagger away from Falbin. It's a pretty nice thing he did.
Maybe he gets some sleep.
What a nice handsome wizard fella.
Well, we don't know that. It could be like completely in Lutheria's possession. That Condris never removed it from Falbin, and she just has it in like a glass case now.
Oh man. I mean, you think she would
Baby's
need
first soul prison.
You think she would need to put it in a glass case? It's like the only.
No.
It's like she's the only one who can craft that type of material, basically. Oh man, crazy! I wonder what actually happened.
So, do we think Demetria is safe? I mean, I will be honest, I have no love of her, but she is also rather important to this mission and the stability of our tree and rowing team.
Well, my thought is, short of putting her under the direct auspices of one of the five, this is probably the most safe she can be, is with us, on the move.
Unless Lutheria knows the location of her tree.
Which, I mean, do we have any reason to suspect that Lutheria does not already? She's been a servant of Lutheria for centuries.
Mm-hmm.
If not
Well,
millennia.
that's what I'm saying. Like, Lutheria does not have to come to this ship to harm Demetria.
And if Demetria was there, what would she be able to do?
No. I mean, like, still nothing. I'm not saying we return it to her. I'm saying that. I'm saying that she is, like, as long as, if Demetria knows where her tree is, Demetria herself can be in the most secure position and still be in danger.
Right. So, I don't know that there's anything we can do about it other than warn Demetria and let her make a decision if she needs to go back to her tree for something or continue with us.
We take Demetria's tree and push it somewhere else. That's what Bulldog says.
Transplanting!
So, yeah.
Jade would go talk to Demetria and basically just fill her in. This is where we're at. Like, it's possible that Lutheria has the crystal dagger. It is unsure whether or not she knows that the crystal dagger came from you, but she'll probably be able to put two and two together. I don't know what else we can do to keep you safe if Lutheria chooses to take action.
She thinks for a minute, and then she just sort of quickly replies, I have survived this long against the Titan, in service with her, and now against. If I am to meet my end, because of my own actions, it will be only just.
All right. Well, I just figured you should be aware of what might be coming.
She gives a small bow and thanks you. And then goes back to the synchronized swimming routine she's teaching the treants.
Yes. It's always best to work on teamwork and synchronization for a rowing team, you know. Got to be cross-discipline trained.
So I'm sorry I can't hear you over this Madonna soundtrack I'm playing for them. Cool. All right. Anything else? Some good RP. Very good.
And I will have the last thing that happens.
Sure.
During the long rest, which is Magus, like as I've described before, his meditation is usually on like the piecing together of magic, and he doesn't really feel like doing that right now. Mm-hmm. So instead, he is going to concentrate on the mystery of what is hidden by the oath, and try and think back to what was revealed by the divination spell about it has something to do with Balmetria's sacrifice. There's something important there, and like the coming of the gods, and he's just going to try and piece together what he's thinking of, everything that he's heard before, and probably like 2 hours through his long rest, my eyes snap open And I jump to my feet. It's like, Mitro's above. It's been in front of us the whole time. Like, I take 2 steps forward and pause, bite my lip, sit back down again, and stay there for about 20 minutes. And then I'm going to go find Kyra.
Okay.
And... Hey, Kyra.
Oh, hi, Magus.
Could we speak somewhere privately?
Oh, sure, yeah. Crow's Nest?
Sure, yes.
She says, I've been learning from the centaurs on how to climb these faster. Watch. And she just runs up without using her hands, just feet all the way up.
Yeah, cool.
And in about 5 seconds, she's up at the top.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Okay. Give me a moment.
I'll get
All
you
right.
some tutoring time with Folon.
Don't ever change. So, I tried that spell to learn what was in your past, and it didn't work. Divination's never really been my strong suit. That's more Theagenes' thing, I guess.
Well, I'm sure there are other worlds where it's far more effective.
Yeah. But my strong suit is that when I encounter a problem, I just can't stop thinking about it until I've solved it. And I'm going to take both of her hands and look her in the eye.
Ah, my hands! You've taken them! She has her hands like tucked into her sleeves, like, oh my goodness!
Kyra.
Sorry, she.
Look at me.
Sorry, focused.
Yes. I think I know who you are. I think I know what you've done. What you helped Estor do. And I think I know why you had to leave him. I think that Kyra is not your full name. Now I know that I cannot speak on behalf of those whose lives you have destroyed. But for my part, for whatever it's worth, I forgive you, Arcarania.
Her face has been doing several things over the course of you talking, from surprise to, being impressed to being ashamed. And then she smiles and then sheds a tear, and then sort of her face droops again. Why does it have to be like this? Why can I not simply agree or disagree with you and say thank you or curse you? Why must I be unable to say what I want?
And I'm going to embrace her And I'm going to say, I know what I know. That even the oath could not hide it. And if there is more that you are prevented from saying, I will continue to seek.
Truly, an immovable object faces an unstoppable force. And I think we're starting to see which one might begin to break. I'm honored to be among your company. I think for the first time in a long time, I feel like I'm where I should be.
Good. Good.
She starts to turn and begin to climb down the ladder, and then she just turns back and says one more thing. She just says, "Thank you for not giving up on me." And she gives you a kiss on the cheek. And then scurries down the ladder as none other but a centaur could.
I'm just gonna lean back in the crow's nest for a while and look up at the stars and think and kind of like say absentmindedly, it's like, beneath it all, I am just a man. But I'm a damn brilliant one.
And a shooting star happens right then. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, you all have your long rest, and it is kind of 10 or 11 at night. How do we want to proceed?
I have done my divination die for the day. Bad news, it's middling.
Might be good. Who knows?
Middle. It's best if it's high or low,
Right.
or at least most useful. Yeah, I do my arcane eye. If there's anything the fates want to show me, I am now open to their guidance.
Let's see. All right. So where do you do your divination?
Just my room, regular old roomy room, and then do a circuit around the ship, and maybe wander towards that weird statue, since that was the last place I saw something of interest.
Okay, so you take your rounds and somehow you make it over the gangplank and to the shore without falling in the water, and you get to the temple district. Again, just two statues near each other, and you sort of sit amongst the cool sand now that the moon, which is mostly full, is out, and there's just sort of a cool breeze, and the sand sort of glitters and sparkles from the moonlight. You watch the crests of the water turn white. The Ultros sort of sitting nigh motionless, moored at port. And then you hear sort of a distorted scream in the distance. Something inhuman.
That is interesting, since I'm not sure my arcane eye can hear. But
I forgot about that. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. I'm gonna look it up.
Oh,
But,
don't worry about it. This time it can hear. There's an arcane ear floating around.
An arcane ear is going with it. Okay. Yeah, it does say you mentally receive visual information from the eye, but I'm experiencing divination synesthesia,
You can see
which
the
is
sound
my
waves.
alt rock band.
You can see the sound waves, and the sound waves look like they're screams that are inhuman.
That's cool. I'll go in that direction.
Cool. You go in that direction, and then you see just a little lizard in the sand, and it has made a little trail through the sand as it wriggles. But you can see that it's wounded. This is a wounded lizard.
Okay.
Do you approach or do anything?
I mean, yeah, it could be a weird sign. Could mean that something's happening on Fire Island.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have you make an animal handling check, but it's not really, because I'm gonna have you use the divination roll that you got. You're not burning it. It's just this is the result. So what was the number?
13. Do I add anything? Am I using a skill?
Yeah, if you have animal handling proficiency, any bonus to that?
Probably not. Let's see here.
You do not.
I do not.
Well, it's a wisdom.
What
It's
is
a
it?
wisdom skill, so it's plus 5.
5.
All right, so 18 then. You reach down to put a hand out to the wounded lizard, and you can see the sand beneath it starts to swirl and try to swallow the lizard up. But you are able to reach your hand out, and it's able to grasp a finger, not before losing its tail in the sand as the sand swallows it up and then goes calm.
Now I think we're the lizard.
And that's your vision.
Thanks, Fates.
Cool. All right, tactician. Are you guys leaving at night or waiting till morning?
I mean, whether this is tactical or not, I feel like Jade at
talking
least
to
would
Theo.
be in the. Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding.
It wouldn't matter what I say anyways, because nobody believes me.
Hey, if you talk about the goblin, Shade's believing you, alright? I just want that on record, okay?
Great. When it really doesn't matter.
What?
Anything important in the group.
Diogenes believes that you feel what you feel.
There you go.
Like, I don't, the rest of everybody else can chime in for their characters, but Shade would be at the point, kind of mentally, emotionally, that once we're kind of recharged and ready to go, he's ready to get out there, whether or not it's a great idea or not. Like, he wasn't joking when he said pent-up frustration that he needs to vent.
Fair. No, not much sleep happening tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of enough to recharge and get ready to go, but like he's not going to wait around, or at least he doesn't, unless everybody else is like, no, we're not going right now. he'll be kind of pacing the halls once we're done resting and seeing if everybody else is ready to go.
Diogenes thinks we don't have much time, so I'm on board with that.
Yeah, let's move out.
I will,
Okay.
I'll let everybody know that today I have prepared the tiny hut spell, so I can cast it instantly
Nice.
at will, if I need to. However, only 9 people can fit inside, which means the 4 of us are 4 dragons and Adrian. The gods will have to stay outside.
Okay. And by the way, does Megas share his revelation with the rest of the group?
Yes, I think I will say so. Okay. Before we get going, I just want to let everyone know I did figure something out with like the spell that I tried earlier to find out what was in Kyra's history, and it turns out that she didn't. That she's.
I'm not getting that. Could you?
Oh, this is interesting. So apparently, she couldn't say, and now that I know, I can't say either. Huh. Okay. Suffice to say, she has blood on her hands, but I vouch for her. We'll leave it at that for now until I can figure this out.
Okay. It looks kind of confused at the rest of the party. Like, kind of the message is, are you guys understanding what's going on?
It's don't ask, don't tell.
All right then.
However, before we leave, I will also say we should probably set up the telepathic bond. Wait, it only lasts for an hour. Still, before we head off, I'll try and get everyone together and do the 10-minute telepathic bond to link us telepathically.
Yeah, and
right.
speaking of linking, Steros comes above deck, and he has a total of 4 of these grappling hooks, and he has equipped them with like waist belts, so that you can essentially affix each other, like a grappling hook from you to another person, and if needed, you can pull using the grappling hook. Pull the other person back.
Excellent.
Sweet.
Thank
Cool.
you, Steros.
Of course. So you guys are telepathically and physically linked. You don't have to be linked up right now. That can be later. And then you head off under the moonlight back onto the island. Let's see. You head up the beach to the north until you find the spot that Tullius, the commander of the Arisian monks, marked in the sand with his drawing. Let's get a perception check from people. Oh my god. 2 nat ones. That was kind of terrifying. 13 from Theo and an 18 from Theagenes. So you guys are looking for like where this passage might be because you're in the general spot. Theagenes, you see you spot an image of a shield etched into the sandstone cliff, and upon closer investigation, that shield is the same as the what do you call the place where monks live and represent from their
Monastery.
Their monastery. It's their monastery insignia.
Gross.
Okay.
Well, I tell everybody. We're
Cool. So the insignia seems to signal a climbing route that was kind of hard to see from a distance. That looks like you can climb up the cliff's edge and over. So let's get get an order.
We start doing that.
Yeah. Who's going first?
I also cast Mage Armor on myself, just to be ready.
Okay.
Before we go, Zerion and any other dragons that wish it would like to go fly up and take a look to make sure we're not going to like climb up right into the claws of a scorpion.
Ah, man, there was a scorpion with its claws out right there. Damn it.
I'm sure they might be, you know.
I was going to asymmetrically bisect all your asses. Come on. Okay, no. Zerion and the others.
Asses are already bisected.
Oh my gosh, you're right. It's going to go horizontally too now.
Oh gosh.
No, so Zerion and the other dragons fly up, and it's only about 30 feet up. They get their heads up into the wind for a second, and then come right back down, and there is basically a crevasse just over the cliff's edge that leads down below the desert plateau.
Oh, is that like a crevice but fancier?
Yes. Croissant. It's like a ditch, but it's from the crevasse region of France. So yeah, it seems like it's just a
Shade
few
will
feet.
start up.
Okay, so Shade starts up there, and just like Zerion said, it's just a few feet of open ground before the crevasse leads down below the plateau. So you scramble up and over, and you push through the scorching wind. Even at night, it's hot, not as hot, but hot for just a moment, and then the crevasse proceeds down until you're about 30 feet below the level of the plateau. The roaring winds above quiet to a low wail as it whips overhead. The sand here feels much cooler to the touch, and the occasional animal track is seen.
Now, is this where I annoy the DM by saying what types of animal tracks?
No, you're not annoying. I will call for a survival check.
All right.
13. Okay, so I'll say it's some type of reptile and some type of hoofed creature.
I will convey that to the party.
Okay. All right, so you push forward. The passage is narrow. It's about, it's single file basically. Probably about 5 or 6 feet. You could walk side by side, but you'd be scraping your shoulders. Twists and branches, and even if you had the sun during the day, it'd probably be impossible to navigate by. So let's get a survival check, a group survival check, unless somebody is leading that.
I'm assuming Shade's out front, unless we're putting Pythor out in front.
Pythor, Pythor, I believe, voted to stay and fight the respawning scorpions for fun.
Oh, of course he did. Do we want Magus or someone with dark vision out front?
Yeah, it is dark.
Shade has dark vision.
Okay.
He's a cat. Meow.
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 Just say it. Wait, that's not survival. I think. So yeah, you would subtract my proficiency bonus from that. It's still pretty high, but it's a 21. I rolled a 21.
Okay, so
So Shade is dead focused on threat assessment and being ready for any type of ambush. He is probably not really paying as much attention as he really should to where we're going.
gotcha. So you get to a fork in the canyon, and it seems like Shade, you and Theo are sort of, let's go this way, and Theagenes and Magus are like, let's go this way.
Point of order, Daniel. This is not something we've talked about, but have I done this?
Done what? Oh, huh. You know,
I was honestly curious about that too. I just
the thing is, your memory of the return, like, that's tough. Yeah, because would you have known about this passage, or does your like memory loss delete sort of the whole experience?
Hard to say.
Because I think the intention is that you don't remember how you got back to the beach, and if you don't remember how you got back, then you couldn't retrace your steps. I
kind of like Gene Stealers, where you like you remember fighting, but you don't remember the specifics of how you got away and stuff. Like you just remember the you know the fight, the conflict, and the flight, but not necessarily the specifics.
I think what I'll do is there is something familiar, and so you'll get advantage on any survival checks in this area.
Okay.
But you do reach a fork in the path, and two of you are pretty sure it goes one way, and the other two are pretty sure it goes the other way.
I'm waiting for the penny to drop there.
Well,
Will you believe?
Shade
No one listens to Theo.
What was that?
It's 2 against 1 because no one listens to Theo.
It's true.
This is true. That's why I now mute my microphone for the entire session. Because what's the point? I'll just keep my commentary to myself. It's all right.
Hey! Let's. I'm gonna tiger lawyer the crap out of this. This didn't have anything to do with listening. It's who you believe. You can still listen and be attentive and convey that you're engaged, but then in the back of your mind being like, yeah, that's a load of crap.
Wow, that's even better.
But in this case, I mean, Shade is like, you know, he probably at this point he would realize I haven't been paying attention to where we're going. Like, and as far as he's concerned, one way is as good as another. So it's like, how dead set on any which one way are we? Like, is is it just a fork? You said,
Yeah.
A split.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
So,
Always go right.
Like,
our
makes sense to me.
Are the positive rolls saying we have an idea which way is the correct way or which way is the safe way?
So I think the intention of the roll is you're trying to get to the center of the island, and it's hard to navigate because you don't really have any signs to navigate from. So that's where the challenge is how do we keep going inward when it's hard to tell which way we're going. So it's less about safety and it's more about like maintaining direction.
Look, guys. I have worked with so much geometry in drawing these magic circles. Not to mention, I am the only one here who has navigated in a three-dimensional space, both in the air and in water. So, I think we should go this way.
Yeah, but Theo says always go right. So
The always go right algorithm will work eventually, but it does involve a lot of backtracking.
fair point. I mean, I'll have to admit, I didn't all necessarily lead us straight through the maze in the tombs, so...
Kyra says, have you fools never been through a hedge maze? You simply put one hand on one side of the wall and just sprint the entire thing, and then eventually you'll get out. Assuming there's only one exit.
And no traps and giant scorpions and... Yeah.
Well, are you worried about that? I suppose you should be, yes.
Just a little bit. How about this? How about we just do the always go left? The best of both worlds. We just keep going the same direction, and we follow Megus's. And has Theagenes weighed in on this point yet?
I have none. I can do a survival roll.
You already did.
You did. You did. You were
21.
you're a 21. So you and Megus both came to the same conclusion, but so far only Megus has spoke up about it. So it's like, I mean, Theo, you gotta admit, Megus is pretty smart. So, you know, I mean, you're smart too.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just go.
Oh. Feel like I said the wrong thing somewhere. Okay.
Rue says, I can't well fly without, I can't fly while crossing my arms over my chest, so I'm just gonna walk and fold my arms over my chest and, you know, look upset about it.
Yeah, don't fly up and tell us where to go.
Have you seen it up there? It's hot.
Yeah, don't do it.
I conduct heat extremely well.
That's true.
It's like I believe it was literally described as a flaying wind. So yeah, I think it's.
There's no skin to play.
Right, but if I come back down and you go to pet me because I'm so irresistible, you'll burn your hand.
Oh, that's right.
What I guess does that translate to like scouring? Would it like braid the surface off of you?
Maybe I'll get
I pat
polished
Rue on the
for
shoulder and say, I pat Rue on the shoulder and say, it's okay if you're flayed.
Hey, that's a pretty good one. This one's starting to get some comedy chops.
With it.
Wait a minute. Theagenes. Nameless can go incorporeal.
Hold the phone. Let's just go left.
What's your point?
The Nameless can scout ahead without any danger from the scouring wind.
Nameless, do you care to do that for us?
I'll let you answer that.
Oh, I guess I'm supposed to talk for him too. He makes a ghostly sigh and says, I guess so. What am I looking for?
The route that takes us to the center of the island. I guess also a giant field of lotus.
Oh, that's Master's favorite snack. All right. Let's see. Do I need to move him on the map, or? Oh, boy.
No, that's okay. We're not using the map
Okay.
yet.
Oh, I thought. Yeah. Oh, we just have an order. Okay. Hey, if I switch windows, does the push to talk continue working or not?
It should.
Yeah, Gray would know. Yeah.
Okay. I was just checking if I go back to Forge. All right. Well, I'll have him go up there and make some kind of perception check or
Yeah, perception would be
survival
fine.
check.
Either one. Either one.
I'll see what he's better at.
The toughest puzzles are choosing between left and right.
Uh-oh.
A 9. He goes up and comes back down and just sort of recites that the paths both wind quite a bit and don't seem like they link up anytime soon. So he's not sure.
Okay. Well, I tell him to come back and say we go with my original plan, which was to follow my advice.
Cool. So we're going left with Magus and Theagenes' scout. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, with their high numbers, yeah.
Okay.
I like to think that with high numbers like that, they would have reasons to be able to point out why that would be kind of a little bit more convincing to Shade and Theo.
Part of me is like, why didn't I just say, oh, Magus and Theagenes, you guys know to go left? But I was like, you know what? Let's get some interesting like inter-party arguing going on here.
Shade is inadvertently destroying his relationship with Theo.
Oh, this is never going to recover.
So because he chose to consider that the word of the guy with divination magic might be more accurate.
Right, but he's a drug user, so you know.
True, I know. It's like there's it's
Oh man.
You guys are prejudiced.
A little bit. So
But just practical.
you guys go left. You follow this passage. It probably, you feel for miles that it goes on, and we'll say that you travel for about 4 hours. So it's about 2 a.m. now. And then who's in front again? Sorry.
I'm assuming Shade, just from the standpoint of prevent
Yeah.
ambush type thing.
So Shade, you round a sharp corner and suddenly you come face to face with a pack mule. You have just a split second, but it brays sharply and is going to bolt away from you down the passage.
Does it have is it facing me?
It can see you. It's like halfway turned to see you. Not right in your direction, but just sort of standing there.
does it have like a lead hanging off of it or anything?
I'm gonna
or is
say
it
this all
just
happens
like
so fast you don't get any real close details. It's like you have a split
well,
second.
it's more of a. Do I see anything that I could grab other than like the pack?
You're about 15 feet away from it, so
Oh, okay.
no.
All right. Wow.
Do you want to shoot it with your grappling hook?
No. If I'm like 15 feet away from it, I don't know that there's anything I'm gonna do. Like, I'm assuming it's just gonna turn and bolt. Like,
Yeah, unless there's something you want to try.
I mean, I could. You know, I know enough about animal handling that it's probably not great for a giant tiger to come running out of the darkness to try and grab a pack animal.
That's probably a good point.
So, I mean, that's going to instantly trigger the fight or flight, which will most likely be flight. Instinct, it'll just kind of try and say, hey, whoa, calm. And see what happens.
Okay, so roll an animal handling. I will say it's probably disadvantage. Yeah, due to your appearance. I didn't think about you being in the front.
Yeah.
That's a nat one.
I am 3 for 3 on that one.
How?
So this pack mule sees these like blue eyes of a massive predator come out around the corner, and it goes and just bolts down the passageway away from you, follows a sharp turn, and is out of sight for just a moment before you hear like a thud, and then the mule begins to scream in distress.
Shade goes from like well, that was awkward to alert and starts kind of jogging forward with a quick, because this is a logistics thing. Magus, would we have stopped like every hour to redo the ritual for the telekinetic link or the telepathic link? Okay. All right, cool. Then it would kind of just almost stage whisper behind me as I stalk forward. There was a pack mule. It just ran around a corner. Sounds like it's hurt or something. Let's investigate. And I will, proceed forward as quickly as I can while still being cautious.
Sure. So you move ahead and you turn the corner that the mule went around. And you see the passage opens up into a larger circular area. The mule has slipped and fallen down into a cone-shaped sand pit that makes up the entire floor space of this chamber, which is roughly 20 feet at the deepest point. The mule is digging its weary legs into the sand in an attempt to escape, but it's slowly losing ground, slipping deeper into the pit.
Grappling hooks. How long is the rope on the grappling hooks?
Yeah, Theo, do you know how long it is?
I, as a player, do not know how long it is, but Theo knows how long it is.
Okay. Well, I think it's like 60 feet, right? Something like that.
So are you going with the default stats on that? He didn't modify it anyway when you give it back?
No, it's not modified. He simply copied what you had.
Rope in general is 50 feet, so we could go with 50 feet for free. That's the only stat thing I see that applies to rope.
We'll say 60 feet. Definitely long enough for you to, reach it.
I assume, is the rest of the party like coming with Shade? I assume.
Yeah.
Or are you guys just letting me run off on my own? Like,
Well, given that your luck is batting at 1 in 8,000, I'm gonna follow, but at a distance.
Good point. Good point. Cade would look. I mean, Shade's intent is to try and save this mule if at all possible, but he wants to do it cautiously, and we'll kind of crowdsource it to the party. Like, is that?
It's supposed to be a mule. I don't have a mule token, so it's an
I was gonna
owlbear.
say, pack owlbear. I'm cool with this. That seems pretty awesome.
Yeah. No, it's a mule.
Yeah, Magus will just say multiple grappling hooks, strong people, and help with dragons. Let's go.
All right. So, I mean, Shade is gonna try and be as much of an anchor as he can be. I assume right around here, brace against rocks and things. I assume there is some type of like pack harness and stuff on this thing.
There is,
that we can
now that
see.
you get a closer look.
Okay.
And also getting closer, this thing is near death. It is like, its skin is sunburned, and its tongue just sort of hangs from its mouth in severe dehydration.
I will also pull out my Echo and have, rather than having the dragons do it, I'm going to have my Echo grab the grappling hooks, whoever is offering theirs as a possibility, and walk out in the air above it and kind of hook them onto the harness.
Magus and probably Adrian will be assisting with this, and Gigeros will be helping Magus hold his end.
Okay. So you guys are forming a bit of a chain. Shade's Echo moves out, and I think I'm going to need another animal handling check as the Echo.
What? It's gonna worry about that. Is it still a disadvantage?
No way. You can roll a 1.
I think it's still a disadvantage. I mean, now it's just a ghost tiger. So an 8. I'm gonna say that you do get the line fixed, but it thrashes and struggles a lot and loses some ground, and is closer to the bottom of the pit now.
Yep, my Echo will. My Echo will actually. Let's see, how far can I go with it? Oh yeah, I'm gonna put my Echo on the other side of the pit from it,
Fair,
like just
yeah.
floating in the air, and kind of like use it to almost startle it to try harder to get away from the center, and kind of work with the team and just like heave ho and start pulling on the lines to see if we can pull this thing up out of the pit.
Let's get a group strength check for everybody that is pulling.
I am just rolling like absolute garbage today.
Don't worry.
Oh my god. Bad. Okay, pretty good from Diogenes there. Oh, and a crit from Theo.
Oh, I can roll for Zerion too. Let's roll for him.
I want to add up all these numbers actually. So 16 plus 7 plus 21 plus 19 plus 5 plus 10 plus 10
And
plus
from
11.
Adrian as well.
Has he rolled?
No.
Oh, hold on. I'll roll.
Yeah, I don't have.
Oh, and a crit from
access.
Adrian.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we brought him.
So we wanted to get 100 total to pull the mule free, and we've done it. So you guys heave and pull, and the mule is brought up out of the pit. However, it is terrified, and it is going to try to run through you guys to escape. So I guess everybody that's in the way make a strength save if you're trying to stand still, or a dex save if you're trying to move away.
Can I try to catch it?
That'd probably be a strength save if you're trying to.
Okay.
Or I guess if it's a grapple, then you would do a strength, an athletics check, and it would try to.
Even better.
Mm-hmm. It'll do acrobatic. No, it'll do athletics. Oh, it's a 24. You know what? I'm gonna give it a disadvantage because it's very weak.
Shade still rolled a 28.
So right, okay. So but it rolled a 9 actually. So Shade, you do catch the mule, and it's about the same size as you, but like it's weak, and it is foaming at the mouth and thrashing, but after a few seconds it sort of embraces death because it thinks you're about to chomp into its jugular and take its life. So it's just sort of panting, and eyes are just completely wide open, and it's just waiting to die.
I'm gonna just kind of hold it and try and speak soothingly to it, just kind of pat the side of its neck, and anybody got some water they can give this thing?
Yeah, everybody has water.
I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna mercy kill it. Because this is painful.
So we have one vote for mercy kill.
No,
This thing,
that wasn't a vote.
he's just gonna do it.
I'm doing it.
So you walk ahead, spear
Okay.
in hand. Any reaction from the party?
I mean, Shade's focused on the mule. He's assuming anybody walking up behind him is bringing water like he just asked for.
And Megas.
Whoa. Wait. Water, not death. The answer is.
Is he standing in my way?
I mean, it's a narrow passage there, and you would have to scooch past them. You could throw the spear, or I don't know.
Sorry,
Instigate.
my daughter needed a very important Illa ball that was under the couch.
It's very important.
Yes. Okay, so people are trying to prevent me from doing this?
No,
Why
they're
are we so
they're
concerned?
just physically in the way.
Yeah, and I am wanting an explanation.
Yeah, I guess Megas is asking why you're doing it.
This
I'm
creature,
digging in my pack to get water.
this creature is going to die. Why are you forcing it to suffer?
We are all going to die eventually. That's faulty reasoning.
It's not. It has no life left in it. And its few minutes remaining will just be suffering.
Shade's gonna turn and say, "But it has fought valiantly for this long to stay alive. Why would we kill it when we can help it?
We cannot help it. The only help you can give it now is a quick death.
Here's the water.
I'm just going to, yeah. I'm going to like maintain eye contact with Theagenes and hand the water, pass the water over to Shade.
Okay, I mean, Theagenes, Theagenes, I was not expecting this level of pushback. I think they're being ridiculous. But if they want to try and torture this thing with water on its tongue while it's dying, I'm going to let them do that.
Yay, teamwork.
It's like we can at least try to save it rather than writing it off. Shade would, now that's kind of, I'm hoping by now it's at least slightly calmed down. Shade would kind of lead it back over here where there's, a little bit more space, type of thing, and use one of his mess kit things to pour water into it and give it some water. And while this is happening, like inspect it, like what all is going on with this mule other than it's like near death.
Yeah, make a I'll say it pauses to drink. I mean, you pour water into like a vessel for it to drink, and it's just going to do this until there is not a drop of water left. So you have about a minute to examine it while it does that. Roll a medicine or nature check. Probably medicine check. Or investigation, I guess, if you're, just looking for other clues.
I guess I'll start with medicine. Oh my word.
I mean, it's dehydrated, as you've seen with an 8. It has some cuts and scrapes. You're not sure if they are just from the rough rock surface, or they're from like some creature. But it's not just exposure; it's also wounded. Yeah.
And like, does it have any items on it? It's got some type of harness on it. Is that distinctive in any way? I assume this is more of an investigation type check now.
Yeah, it does have a harness on it. I think to determine like origin or like exact type of harness, somebody else would need to.
Yeah, I'll investigate that while you look at the animal, and I'll do very well at it.
That's a nat 1. So you want to luck roll that and re-roll it?
I think I would.
This nat 1 city today. 27.
That's
27.
better.
Yeah, so this appears to be a merchant saddle. You know that because they tend to have like a bunch of extra little pockets and satchels on them. And it's also slightly gilded, not really purpose built. It's meant to look a little flashy, but also hold stuff. So you're not exactly sure like what type of person, if it's like somebody from Mitros or Regia or somewhere else was riding it, but they were definitely a merchant.
Do I find anything interesting? There's no saddlebags or anything. It's just the saddle.
Yeah, so you find inside a like a flower pressing, where it's like you take a flower and you dry it and press it flat, like that kind of thing. So it's a lotus flower that has been like pressed flat, and you can guess that this flower was brought as like an example of they're looking for more of this, essentially. You also find a total of total of 200 gold in the saddle, as
Nice.
well as a as well as a water flask. That's pretty full.
Excellent.
Dumb old
I'll
horse
take
couldn't
that
even
to replenish my
drink from
water
it.
that was just drank by the mule.
There you go.
Cute. Yeah, I'll tell the group what I found.
There you go. And then it's about this time the mule finishes the water and looks back up at you, Shade, and you can incite it's probably going to run again.
It's like, I guess the question I have is, how accurate the map is the map with like little tufts of grass and stuff? Is there anything for this thing to eat here, or is this like bare rock
It's
everywhere with sand?
It's bare. The map is just a what I could find that's sort of a close approximation.
Right. That's figured I'd ask before I just make some assumptions.
Yep.
I mean, we don't really have anything to feed it or do anything else with it, and I don't think we really want to drag it along. So Shade, while still holding it, would basically take off the saddle and stuff, kind of unencumber this thing, and kind of let it go down the path. And as he's doing this, like going back down the way we came, as he does this, he'll tell the rest of the group, probably kind of pointedly Theagenes, it's like, at least we'll give it a chance at survival, and if we come back this way, we can take it out with us.
Free mule.
Yeah, why not?
Theagenes will look Shade in the face and say, heroes should look reality squarely in the face.
However, heroes are meant to bring hope.
I'm going to let the conversation end there.
Got him.
It's like, Shade isn't trying to like push the issue too crazy, but it's like, I understand where he's not saying this, but like the body language is, I understand we disagree, and it's all right that we disagree. It's like that type of motive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yep.
So next time, if Theagenes is in front, he can kill the mule. Okay, it'll be fine.
Theagenes scoots to the front. Okay, well, you
he'll roll better than Shade has.
That's true.
That's for sure.
Well, you solved my pack mule puzzle. Well done. Okay, so you have the pit here to the right that the mule was in the process of slipping down. There's also a passage to the left that you can take.
Does someone other than Shade want to take a look at this conical pit that us players probably know what's at the bottom of it? Or
It's a Scarlac. I'll investigate it.
All right, Theo steps forward to investigate. Yeah, roll an investigation or nature check. 16. Okie dokie. So, like I said before, it's a conical pit that descends down to about 20 feet below you to a pretty sharp point. It's not like a bowl. It's a cone. A lot of the sand is disrupted from the movements of the mule as it was, sinking down in there. But any of the sand on the other side of the pit is undisturbed and pretty smooth, like extremely smooth. and you don't see anything at the bottom.
Unnaturally so.
You don't see anything at the bottom, but like it's an unusual formation for sure. Not one that you've seen before, but definitely one that incites caution.
I will relay the nature of this Scarlac pit, and that it is unnatural.
This cave
Probably
is not a natural
a
formation.
sand serpent. Definitely a sand serpent.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel if it's an ambush predator, we should probably just go around it.
Do we have to go that way, or can we go the other direction? Is there anything on the other side?
On the other side of the
We
pit with
can-
the mule, there is you step forward, and there is an exit to that passageway. So it opens up into
Or
the
We can also
cone.
just go down here.
Yeah, let's just go the other way. I don't want to go near the pit.
Okay. So you go the other way.
Would someone else like to take point, or shall I continue?
Please continue. Most of your bad luck has to have been gone by now.
And I think
Says Theo to jinx the rest of Shade's rolls for the rest
You've
of the
got this.
session.
You've got this.
I think for simplicity's sake, maybe you guys could you can leave your dragons like the tokens where they
Yeah.
are, and just move your character. And then if something happens, you can just pop them in.
Not that it will, but
Not that it will. I only use battle maps for narration
yeah.
and exploration. So Shade's ahead in the front again.
So it looks like it's kind of opening up to a bigger area
Yep,
ahead
it's
of us.
it's a chamber about 50%
Yeah.
larger than the one the mule was in.
I'm gonna send my echo out in front of me, and just kind of
Yeah.
bloop, bloop, bloop.
So, as your echo nears the entrance to the next circular chamber, you can actually see on the other end of the room, on a ledge midway up between the sand floor and the lip of the canyon, sits a skeletal corpse leaning up against the canyon wall. It's not alive. It has a health bar. It's a corpse.
Sure.
We've fought corpses before. Is this another like conical
it is.
depression?
It is.
All right, and let's see how far that is.
I'm gonna say, shall we bring this one hope?
I don't see any mules.
Yeah, we have to bring meals home.
The echo will just kind of walk out in the middle of the air as if the ground didn't, conically go down.
Yep, exactly. This one's about
And
30 feet deep.
Okay, and yeah, so with that, Shade is going to transfer his perception to his echo and walk his echo out to the limit of what he can see. He's kind of being intentionally uncautious with his echoes, like walking almost directly across the pit to see if anything pops out, but he's going to walk over here and see what he can see with the skeleton.
Yeah, so as the echo gets closer to the skeleton, you can see that in its lap there is a small book. And next to the corpse, there's a bronze shield.
All right. Where does the edge of the conical
It goes
depression
all the way to the edge of the wall. So there's
on
not
this side, like all the way to like here?
Yeah. There isn't like a circle of flat ground that you could walk around the outside. It's
Right.
It's flush with the wall.
All right. So Shade will relay it back to the group that there's a bronze shield and a small book on this, and just to be clear, is this kind of actually like a ledge all
Yeah.
through up here?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, I'm sort of treating like the topography, like any of the peaks are like level with the scorching winds, and the parts that look about halfway are you could get up there and not be in the wind.
okay. It's like, because
Are you gonna swap
I
places?
could have my echo. Yeah, I could, but it's more of a Shade's gonna ask the party. It's like, do we want to collect those? I can swap places with my echo and gather them. From what I see of the ledge, does it seem pretty stable and stuff, or is this like crumbling rock type thing?
Make a investigation check.
Investigation. Oh, well, I probably should have done that with Shade. But yeah, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it looks perfectly solid to me, regardless of any other indications to the contrary.
No concerns. No concerns.
Party input?
I am indifferent.
Okay. Cool.
I mean,
and
that
Shade's
might
gonna
be helpful to us. Yeah.
Shade's gonna swap teleport.
Okay, you swap teleport,
Oh,
and
well,
now you are immediately next to this corpse with the shield and the book. You take the book.
I'm gonna take the book and the shield if I can, and actually, no, I kind of want to just. How held together is this whole skeleton?
Oh, it's not well held together. This thing is
Okay.
this thing is dead.
All right. Well, then I'll grab the book and the shield, and assuming nothing else changes, wait a few seconds and swap teleport back.
Okay, you swap back. You have the book and the shield. Yeah. So, what do you want to look at
Cool.
first?
We'll just kind of drift. I will pass the book off to Magus, and kind of since Theo's right here, look at the shield with him because he's the artificer. He's probably going to pick out craftsmanship and stuff that I will not.
Okay.
Okay.
You pass the book to Magus. Magus, I'm just going to message you the last couple entries. We're not going to read the whole journal, but that's what we want to see, right? What are the last couple things he wrote about, or they wrote about their skeleton?
Drums in the deep and all that.
Exactly. So here's the most recent entry. I'll let you read it. Oh,
Let's see.
and before you read
Yeah,
it, hold on.
Okay.
There was a bit of text that wasn't correct in that second sentence. There we go.
While Theo is looking at the shield, Magus is looking at the book, Shade will ask Theagenes, in all seriousness, is there anything we should do to try and put this body to rest, or is this too far gone?
I think, like, from past experiences, like, the rituals to lay something to rest are usually done in, like, there's a time frame to get those completed.
Yeah.
True, but like with
unless
the
it's like-
Ultros and stuff.
Well, but those
I'm looking it
were
up
those
now.
were cursed people that were not. They weren't
Oh,
at
okay.
rest, so they were like forcibly unrested.
Well, that's why Shade is asking Theagenes
Totally.
if there's anything we should be doing or not, because he doesn't know. This is kind of his domain.
Meanwhile,
Yeah, I think I can use the Shield of Vulcan on it, and if it had any abilities, I'll absorb those Mega Man style.
Wait, wait. No. I think the creature has to have died pretty recently for that to work, right?
All it says is deceased.
Huh. Let me look at it. In the presence of a deceased, medium or smaller. Well, okay, all right. Well then, if you're actually doing
we
that,
can just. I'm fine with burying it, but
So-
I'll give it a try.
yeah, if you're actually doing that, I will say.
Well,
yes.
It'll be kind of involved for us to get Theagenes over there. So I figure
yeah.
we should probably resolve the book and shield information before we start trying to crawl over this giant ambush predator's nest and end up
Right.
falling in and having to fight it.
Because you don't
So-
have the skeleton with you. Yeah.
No, I was not. It was too falling apart to just grab it and carry it as an item back.
Right.
So the last passage from the book seems pretty straightforward. The wind that has streaked above me these last days has not changed, yet to me, a dying man, it has been all manner of things. At first, a cruel shell to drown out my screams of help from above, then a kind blanket to quiet the sound of the horrors below. At last, now I hear the song of my brothers and sisters. Some voices sing to me in compassion, others in pity, most in judgment. But I welcome their voices, the last ones I shall hear in this life.
One thing important to note, where it says a dying man, there is a word crossed out.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't just you doing that.
No,
so,
that's how it's
you
written.
wrote like a dying. It is written a dying warrior, and then he crosses it out and says a dying man. So I'm guessing this is someone who tried to flee what we're heading toward. Oh, there's more. But wait. There is no escape from here. In my state, I cannot make the climb up to the plains, even though even my shield could not protect me for long. The monster that awaits below is patient. I mourn that I was unable to save Citra, her body now sustaining this creature, so that it not starve before I do. Why were we so foolish? Cowardice cannot be overcome by brashness. If only I were not such a coward, I would join her.
If only we could have brought him hope.
There's some stank on that.
If only. Although I fear we are, Shade looking at the corpse, probably decades late.
So there is one more entry, though I didn't get a chance to write it, so I won't attempt to do it in the prose that the others were in. But it basically describes that this man was in the Scorpion trials, and this entry is like, the Scorpion trial has ended, but he was losing. And this woman that he mentioned, Citra, saved him from death by the Scorpion. And what happened was, the Scorpion was killed, and he survived, but it didn't die by his hand, and they were shamed. And they came up with this plan to go deep into the island and bring something back that would restore their honor.
Ah. Yeah. Well, I think we're all in agreement that the Arisian system isn't great. So, so how are we getting across this?
Well, from where I can see with the echo, there seems to be another pit over here, right?
Yeah. Across that ledge, there is another pit.
It looks like
Yeah,
there's
'cause,
a
like-
passage here.
Yeah, because basically, yeah, there's the passage over here. There's the passage over here. This one seems to go back and might end up in another bowl as well. And from my vantage point up on this ledge, did I see anything over down in here other than just looks like more passages?
Yep, more passages, another pit. Anywhere there's a circle, there's a pit.
Okay. So either we're going to have to draw out these monsters and fight them to make our way through, or effectively climb our way along the edges and ledges to get through.
I vote for the
It-
second
'cause-
option.
Yeah, this is a ledge right up here, right?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I will go whoop and swap teleport to put Shade up on the ledge. And kind of let down rope and start trying to pull people up.
Okay. Yeah. With that, everybody is able to climb up that ledge, so if they so choose.
Get me away from the worm.
So carefully, very carefully, edging our way along this ledge. Shade's going to be like poking with his glaive, like the butt of his glaive, to try and see if there's loose rocks and things that are going to give way as we walk. And he's going to try and keep his echo just a few feet ahead of him to be able to swap places with him in case he falls. Because he figures that he's the most weighty and likely to cause a collapse out of the party.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So figure we'll get to like here and decide if we want to try and. I feel like this one looks like it's higher up. Whether we want to try and jump across to here.
This would probably be your best landing spot.
Okay. To avoid risks of jumping, swap teleport.
Shade has
I'm
forgotten
trying to
how
take
to
all
jump
the-
and climb.
Yeah, well, not in this case. I have. Yes, he has forgotten how the requirements of climbing. So then he'll toss a rope back across to make sure if somebody else jumps and doesn't make it, he can pull them onto the ledge. So
Megas will jump.
Yeah, so it's going to be... Let me check the distance. It's 5 feet to the very edge, but to land squarely on the ledge, it's a 10-foot jump. So you can, from a standstill, you can, let's see. Jump. Long jump. When you make a standing long jump, you can leap half your strength score. So, for example, Megas, you have a strength of 13, so you can jump 6 feet from a standing long jump.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna like kind of back up. I have a little bit of room to do like maybe like 7, 8 feet of a running jump.
I'm gonna say, just for the rule's sake, we need the full 10.
Okay, so I need to be able to make 10 feet.
Right. I know that in the real world there would be a spectrum of like, oh, if I get 6 feet of a running start, I can jump a little further, but like
Okay.
that's sort of bending the rules in a way that I don't really want to be able to calculate all that.
Does this distance to this distance count as 10 feet?
I'll let you do it, but there is a chance that you slip on either the start or the finish of that jump.
I will take that chance.
Okay. Um,
Got the rope, and I'm trying to grab him when he tries to to get onto the ledge.
so you go to make the long jump. Let's do a dexterity saving throw as part of the run-up.
Wait. I mean, we have pythons, right? So we just attach a rope on one side. Shade's already there. We just attach a rope to one side and another. We
Shade
can shimmy
already-
across.
Already did the attached a rope, right?
No, Shade's just holding a
I-
rope.
I'm holding
Oh.
a rope because, yeah, I could. If Theogenes says it's out loud, yeah, I'll do that plan. That's a great plan, Theogenes.
That is what we will do.
So you're gonna secure
Shade'll-
a rope from one end to the other.
Yeah. That becomes like a rope climb across rather than just a running jump.
Okay, cool. So you guys secure a rope, and have you can do like a hand over hand. You can tightrope walk it if you really want, or slackline, but that seems dangerous. You can just hand over hand it.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay.
That's not nearly as cool.
Okay, but you safely make it across to the other side.
I attack the ground and jump 10 feet backwards using my war dancer spear.
No.
Theogenes is like, noobs. Boom!
It's like, I learned how to rocket jump. What's wrong with you guys? Okay, so using the rope, you make it across to the ledge. Where to now?
I assume, like, there's not really a ledge going around this way. Around this way.
That would be a shimmy situation that could result in
Yep.
you falling, but
That is risk-inducing. We're not doing that. We're headed towards this ledge.
okay.
And again, echo shade, tap the ground. There is a wall right here.
Oh, there is.
That's weird. Yeah, there's like a
Oh,
point
sorry.
right here
Yeah.
that
There you go.
it's like block all view.
There we go. And at this point, you guys are on the same level as the skeleton. If you wanted to go get it for some reason, you could.
Imagine is gonna go shield eat it.
Put the skull yeah. So if you are doing that, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm all about putting people to rest, so let's do it.
So however you feel like this goes, putting it to rest, if you want to describe it, you can. If you're doing the shield munch thing, you're gonna get a feature called deflect missile that you can use temporarily. So basically, it's a reaction where you can reduce the damage taken from a ranged attack, and if you reduce the damage all the way to 0, then you catch the missile.
Sweet.
So yeah, cool. So you're up here, and there's another pit down below you, a small one. Actually, no, this isn't a pit. It's just a flat, sandy area.
Okay, I was wondering about that because it's like this is kind of small. This might be a great way to figure out what type of monsters these are. Oh. All right, so if it's flat and sandy, Shade's gonna ask if we want to just like hop down into it.
I mean, we're probably just going to have to climb back up anyway.
True, but there's not a lot of ledges for us to keep following. They get kind of thin through here.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
I imagine we're probably
Directly
gonna have to go
across
up and-
is basically like a spire, and there really isn't any standing room there. And this is very narrow, very steep. Same over here.
Unless we want to try and go all the way around over here and see what that gives us. But then it's like, I'm assuming this the shape of the map influencing character thoughts. We're trying to head roughly north in the map orientation.
Uh-huh.
So we're not trying to detour too much if we can help it.
I mean, Magus will want to like come around the corner and see if that's a viable option.
Sure, you come around the corner, and indeed, it seems like there's a bit of a flat, rocky area here that crosses over into the next large chamber.
Cool. There's a wall that I can't go through right here somehow.
Oh, that's all right. There you go.
There we go.
Oop,
yeah,
oops.
I will. Yeah. I'll direct people that hey, like this, we can move along a path over here, a little bit easier. This leads forward to the next chamber.
There's no ledge over here.
Right. So I guess it would just be... Oof.
And that looks like a really big hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably the biggest one
And
you've
a
seen so
rattlesnake.
far.
Diggy diggy hole.
And from here, the wall around the left is definitely too steep to climb
Right.
unless you had like some special equipment.
Right.
You're gonna have to find a way to get all the way across to like this ledge here, probably, or maybe here.
Is there a way for me to use my grappling gun and shoot it halfway between me and that ledge that you just pinged, and have it latch on and then Tarzan swing over to that other point?
Oh man, Theo's going Indiana Jones on this.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay. I like that. Maybe like shoot at a high point, like near the plateau, like right in the middle, and swing over. Yeah. Why not? I think that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Also, if we need an anchor point just like floating up in the air somewhere, we do have an immovable rod.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
That Shade's Echo could just put in the middle of the air somewhere.
Or nameless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do the rod thing. That seems more consistent. And instead of me shooting at a target, we can just attach the rope to it.
Cool.
Oh yeah, that's.
So we.
Man, it would be cooler shooting it though. But yeah, I get it. It's safer.
So basically, we're gonna put the immovable rod up at like the point, like the point
Halfway
between.
between us and that ledge over there.
Shade's just gonna ask it. Are we sure we want to go this way rather than the one that has more or less an open path? Just checking. Yeah, I'm good either way.
Try
But
the open path, but I thought it had resulted in another pit down that way eventually.
I mean, this pit ahead of us is the largest pit by far. That's Grand Canyon scale.
that's the best one to fall into.
Yeah. The bigger the better. Everybody knows that.
The biggest surprises, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, let's go to the right.
Okay.
I'm with you on this one. Right. So, like, this is just a sandy bottom here, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Shade's gonna climb down. It's Echo right there next to him, and start kind of walking up this way carefully.
Okay. Yeah, you enter this next passage. And you see another pit with kind of a dead end. The only other path leads back out.
And these ledges up here are too high to like really get to. They're like right up by the wind, I assume.
I think like maybe right like right here. You know, that would probably be doable.
Is that the same elevation as this one that runs down
yeah,
along here?
It is. It's just
So we
narrow.
might be able to climb up to that one, shimmy along it, and shimmy through, seeming to head in the same direction we're trying to go, while bypassing the exceptionally large pit on the other side.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
feel free to draw directions on there.
Yeah, I approve of this.
Although you'll have to fight the mighty snake at the end there.
I know. It's like a 5-foot-long rattlesnake.
It is, yeah. Okay, so you're climbing up here to shimmy around.
Yep.
Okay, let's get an order for that. And everybody who makes the shimmy, just give me a dex save, please.
I'm gonna sidestep the shimmy and swap teleport to get up there.
Of course.
And then I'm going to, toss a rope down to help the shimmiers.
Yeah. And it's like you guys don't want to have combat.
Oh, we want to have combat. We just don't want to. We want combat on our terms.
Wow.
You present us a puzzle, and we are puzzling.
So we got Theo's. Let's get Magus. Where's Theagenes? Oh, he's way down there.
Sorry, I had to reload Forge.
Oh.
That's all right. So they're making a shimmy around this ledge here. If you could get a roll a dexterity saving throw. Just gonna put you over there. Ah, beautiful. Okay, so everybody succeeds except for Theo. And Theo, you're going to fall down here into this pit.
I don't want to.
We're supposed to hold the rope.
I was. You didn't tie it well.
So let's go ahead and get an encounter going. So let's have everybody roll initiative. If you want to place your dragons wherever you can. But
Can't see my dragon.
oh, they're over on the. Oh,
Yeah, they're all the way down there.
hold on. No, but Rue isn't. Rue Big Style. Oh no, he was there. Yeah, he's right here.
It's dark over there for me, so I can't
Oh,
select.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Because I'm in a pit.
There we go. So I'm just using something else. Anyway, Adrian rolls not very well. Theo rolls not very well. I think we just need Theagenes to roll initiative as well. Okay. Okay, so Magus, you hear a bit of stone crack and slip away, and then Diogenes slips and falls down into the pit below. I'm actually going to have, sorry, not Diogenes, Theo. Theo, you're going to take just a little bit of fall damage. Literally 1, because I'm halving the fall damage since it's on the sand. 1 fall damage. Get injured. But he's starting to slip down into the conical pit below.
I'm going to jump down.
Okay.
And I am going...
If you want to use a reaction to try to, like... I don't know if that's a thing. Let's see. Take 1 bludgeoning damage from the fall.
Okay.
Stub your toe.
And I'm... Cool. I am going to grab him, and I'm going to cast Dimension Door to take us both up right here.
Oh. All right. Well... Okay. So, yeah, anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Theagenes. Theo fell down, Magus jumped down, Dimension Doored him out.
Do we see any reaction in the sand?
Not so far.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna, I guess, prepare an action. Let me check real quick. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna prepare Mind Sliver to cast on anything that appears out of the sand or the area where he fell.
Okay. Fair.
And then I'm going to, let's see, I think I'll have Nameless fly up and see if he can see anything heading in our direction.
Okay. Yeah, there is a Predator missile inbound. Danger close.
It's a trap!
No, he doesn't.
I
see
grab
you.
it with Deflect Projectile.
Oh, perfect. Ah, damn it. The CIA is like, he's good. He's really good. Okay, that's, I guess, anything else? That's it?
It even says the monk catches the missile.
I can do that now.
It's very good. Okay, so I am using just a giant scorpion's token, but it is not a giant scorpion. A large set of mandibles pierces the sand with a bit of sand spray, and there's an antlion, a very big antlion down at the bottom. So I think Theagenes, you had a prepared action. Let me just set it at the hit points that it's supposed to have. Okay, so you cast Mind Sliver at it. That is a
Intelligence saving
intelligence
throw, I believe.
save. Oh, it's not good at that. That's a 3. No, sorry. It's got -4, so that's a -1.
Okay. It has to subtract a d4 from its next save.
Okay, perfect. And it takes 4 psychic damage. Oh, wait. Hold on, I gotta adjust its max HP. And okay, perfect. So come on. Its turn now. It's going to looking at my... Theagenes, it's going to unravel a tentacle from between its pincers and fling it in your direction. It has a 20-foot reach. So that's going to be that's a 27 to hit. Which does hit.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. So on that hit, you're going to take 21 bludgeoning damage as it sort of wraps around you and squeezes really tight. And you are currently grappled. Then it is going to... Wow. It's going to move down and start to pull you down. So it has a burrow speed of 20, so it's going to move 20 feet down, and it's going to pull you down to just the opening of at the bottom of the cone. And then it is going to bite you. So that's going to be a 14 to hit, which
How is it biting if it's 20 feet away from him?
Sorry, I meant the
Tentacle is going to crush him.
It's a retraction.
Oh, okay. So
Sorry,
it pulled him. It just pulled him down.
Right. My bad. Sorry.
Okay.
Pulls him down and then bites. But a 14 misses, I think. So you're currently grappled, but not bitten. And that's its turn. Shade.
Excellent.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna move my echo down to the point where I can reach it. I know I'm probably still like 5 feet up above it, because I assume we're however many feet up on this ledge here. Mm-hmm. So I can move 30 feet almost straight down. That should put me in range of it, right?
Yeah, and we go non-Euclidean, right? So like it's
Okay, cool.
it's 30 feet out,
Right,
it's 30 feet away.
Yeah, and I am just gonna start hacking away at this glaive. If with a glaive, can I specifically try and target the tentacle? Whatever. Try and hack it to try to get it to let the edges alone.
Why not? Why not? Let's do that.
Okay, fine. It does whatever. This I don't know if this is gonna calculate right or not if I use my echo. Just a second. Because it gives me the error that I'm not within range of it when I attack through my echo.
Oh, you can move until we figure that out. You can move Shade down next to it.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll just
That's fine.
yeah, I'll put Shade there. All right, cool. Then I'll use Shade's glaive to make sure it calculates properly. There we go.
14's a miss.
All right. Cool. Great. Nice. Awesome. Let's do that again.
It's a nat 1.
All right.
How?
I am going to spend my inspiration to re-roll that.
Cool. 18, that's a hit.
There we go.
That's 11.
Finally.
11 slashing. Okay.
All right. I'm going to use my Unleash Incarnation to attack again. There we go. That's better. And
27
then,
absolutely hits.
Yep.
For 13.
And I'm just gonna go for it and do that all again.
Wow. 15 hits, doing 13 more damage. Jeez. And another 28, doing 15 more damage. Just chopping.
Just.
I'll say with that much damage, the tongue, the tentacle releases from Diogenes, though he is still at the bottom of the pit.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna, like I said, do the whole thing again. Use another this and my last attack. There.
19 hits again. Jeez.
All right. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's Shade's turn.
Okay. Adrian, he doesn't really have anything ranged. So I think he's just gonna hold an action to like help pull him up if he gets close enough.
I can move Zerion on my turn, right?
Yes,
Yeah, Zerion would swoop down and start to. Once the tentacle is broken, Zerion would swoop. I can't move him. Oh, because it's not my turn anymore.
There you go.
Sorry. He would swoop down and start to help pull Diogenes back.
Okay, cool. We'll say
I don't know how far he could get, but
not really up, but he can get him to the edge, which we did say Adrian is preparing to help pull him up too. So so with that and Adrian helping, we're able to get Diogenes up onto the ledge there. Theo.
Force Ballista summon, and then Force Ballista shoot.
A 9's a miss.
Rue will do a. Is it in the ground right now?
Yeah, it's mandibles and tentacle, wounded tentacle are sticking out of the ground. It's I could give it cover, but I'm not going to.
I'm gonna do some lightning breath.
Okay, so it succeeds on the dex save, so it's going to take 6 lightning damage, which it's going to use a reaction. There's nobody on the sand currently, right?
no.
Okay, so you can see that as it takes this lightning damage, the sand starts to... if you've ever seen videos where people pump air up through sand and it becomes like liquid, that's kind of what happens. There's just this like tremor, and then any like small pebbles, anything on the sand just immediately sinks down, and you're glad that you were not down there.
Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
I'm gonna fly over here. That's it.
Magus.
Magus is gonna, like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So he's going to cast an ice ball. Oh, whoop. What? There. Okay. So yeah, ice ball. Just right there. And let's see. Sure, let's go ahead and re-roll the 1, and the 2. So subtract 4. So it's 20. Whip. So it's 25 plus 14. So 39 points of ice damage.
Wow. Okay. So fails the dex save. How do you kill it?
After the liquefaction thing, it's just going to just freeze. It's going to like freeze over into an ice sculpture.
Yeah.
The mandibles and the tentacle is just gonna like freeze in place in the air, and that's just what it is now.
Love it. I mean, it'll melt eventually, but for now, yeah, it's just this this statue of an antlion. Sick, awesome. Okay, I think that's out. That's it. We're out of combat. Cool. So, yeah.
And Megas just kind of huffs and turns around.
Diogenes, you good?
Yes, thank you.
And shit, look up. Geo, you good?
Never better. Magic is awesome.
Magic is awesome. Now we proceed. Now that we know the quote-unquote horrors below that live up to their name, with a little added dose of caution.
I'm trying to move my cannon with me, but it is getting stuck on walls.
Don't worry about it.
It would be on my shoulder, though. Oh, I've been released. Okay, we're good.
Cool. So the rest of you make it across this ledge unassailed and are able to reach this point here. You can see the passage widens and continues to the north just across this small sand pit. And there is this massive sand pit over to the left, along with this legendary 5-foot rattlesnake right here.
Tarzan swing? Come on, we got to do at least one swing.
Yeah, you could still do the immovable rod swing.
From this side to the other.
All right. You got the immovable rod that kind of floats up to where it needs to be, you know, kind of in the middle up here.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of flicks it in place with the rope attached, and yeah.
All right. One by one, you guys, Indiana Jones style, swing across the sand pit with the immovable rod anchoring you from above. And you are able to make it safely to the sandy path up ahead. Congratulations, you've solved my antlion maze puzzle. There's more. There's definitely more.
There's more ant lions?
What do you think? Yes, there is. And I'm guessing we're in the last few minutes of our session, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So, any like wrap up conversation before I sort of play us out?
Proceed.
Okay. All right. So after cleverly and nimbly making your way through this desert canyon, avoiding most of the dangers within, even though your bloodlust sort of wants you to go back and fight some more of them, right?
Maybe on our way back, we'll just come for that big one.
There you go. You make your way for, another several hours until it's about dusk, and then the path. Dawn. Yep, that's the opposite. Until the path opens up into a massive, like, verdant valley. Seemingly dropped in place here, completely opposite of the surroundings. The air is humid, not like uncomfortably so, but not deathly dry. There's a cool wind, and there is the scent of lotus flowers. You move ahead, and then beyond there is a valley where black lotus grows for miles, and at the center, a tower of black stone the morning sun quickly passing over the sky in about a minute. It goes from sunrise to sunset, and then night, and then sunrise, and then sunset, and then night, and then back around and around and around. And that's where we'll pick up next time.
Rise, sunset.
So yeah. Oh gosh, I hope I just pulled up in my OBS and my camera is frozen on like this awful face of mine, and I hope that that's not what it looks like the entire session. I look like I'm having the least amount of fun possible. Which is not true.
Oh man, they bypassed my antlions.
I mean, kinda. You know. No, that's the thing.
That was
though.
going to be a very bloody fight for us, wasn't it?
I mean, if you fought, I mean, that was like one of the medium ones. You know, if you fought multiple, that would have been a pretty big resource drain. The
Right,
big one,
like if we had just fought our way through the whole thing.
exactly. Yeah. I knew that you guys would have something up your sleeve for traversal. You know, I just figured, if you want, I'll let you traverse the thing, and if you want to fight something, you can fight something.
You never anticipated my throw the rope across tactic.
No, rope? What?
Rope?
Now,
Get
Dimension
up
Door.
Oh, what we really
okay.
need is some rope.
Exactly. Oh man. Okay. Well, good session. Anything you guys liked? Anything that you want to shout out?
I mean, I thought everybody did a great job. The two things that stood out to me, Magus and his revelation of he figured out what the
Yes.
backgrounds are. Cool, and now he
I
can't
cracked
tell
this
us.
case wide open. All of the five gods are dragons from the original Dragon Riders. Balmetria is Mitros. Sybil Corax is Vulcan. Tessophily is Valus. Respitrion is Pythor. And Arcarania is Kyra. So.
And that's, man, those names have been in front of you guys this whole campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure I understand. Who are these? What? Someone explain.
Have you read any of the Xandariad document?
Of course I have.
Of course. The whole thing.
Well, I don't know though, because those are some pretty important names in the document. No, that's so in. Go back and take a read through it. But like, in short, these dragons were, they were Dragonlord dragons, and they fought in the war. And Arcarania, for example, was Estor Arcalander's dragon. And yeah, and so like you already knew that like Estor and Kyra had a history, and that's the history, is that she was his dragon.
This is why, yes.
And she abandoned him. Yeah.
And so that's why, like, when you started raving about how everything went wrong once she left, it's because she was his dragon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to go. My dad is literally pulling me into the other room to watch.
That's okay.
Tiger.
That's okay, man. Thank you for joining. We'll talk to you later.
Yeah, I had a great time.
I was
Good.
gonna say the other thing that I really appreciated was the Theagenes and Shade back and forth about what to
Yeah.
do with the mule.
Yeah, there was like
that was pretty good.
There was several things this session where I was like, I wanted to add something like, it's a mule, it's just a pathetic creature. But I was like, if we add this in, suddenly it makes this like people are gonna have different
the
opinions.
Mule was Falbin.
Right. Yeah, the mule is actually a polymorphed. Oh, wouldn't that be crazy if Condrus actually just polymorphed
No.
him into...
Psychologically, in our minds, if we would have left that donkey, it would have felt
Oh.
like we were leaving Falbin behind.
Right. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah.
There might have been a little bit of projection, you know.
There you go.
Absolutely.
But that's the whole reason I put it there. I'm like, some of them are gonna really want to save this thing.
Like, if Theagenes had still been down in the pit when it came around to Magus' turn, Magus was going to shout, "Should we give you hope?"
Oh man, that's
The Adventures of Dark Magus. Wow. No, yeah, there was a lot of great RP from you guys all around that I didn't expect. I thought we were just sort of gonna jump right into adventure, but I appreciate that a lot. And yeah, next time we will check out the tower. Whose tower? I don't know. Whose tower is it?
Giant Scorpion's tower. It's a giant scorpion wizard living in there, right?
That's true. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Scorpion.
all his somatic components are just like clickety clacking of his claws.
That's very good. By the
And
way,
he has to talk like Zoidberg.
I'm Scorpion, homeowner. So, by the way, like Gray, I notice this every time I listen back to an episode, but like you do this a lot when you cast a spell, you like snap your fingers as you cast it, like in real life. Just you're doing like your own little somatic component. I think that's great.
Gotta have fun.
Yeah.
And you can't hear the finger guns, you know.
Right. Cool. Well, so we'll be back week after next, and man, I don't know what, it's so weird. Every time I go to prepare a session, I'm like, oh, gotta get this, gotta do this, and then we don't end up using a lot of it until like 3 sessions later. And like, you know, but it's good. I've had some more time to think about certain things and flesh them out some more. So,
I mean, it's the bittersweet balance of like letting us kind of manually navigate our way through rather than like, oh, you guys figure out a path through. All right, well, you're through and keep moving. Like,
yeah. Yeah, you know, I wanted to...
It's more granular, but it takes a little bit longer.
It does. And, you know, we got some interesting, like, discussion through it, which I thought was fun. So, all right, well, I'll go ahead and cut the recording. I do think it is my dumb face frozen for most of the video. And, remembering back, I kept hearing the sound effect, the Windows sound that it makes whenever a device disconnects. And I think it was my like webcam for some reason disconnecting, so it like
oh no,
I look like I'm just like it's bad, but I heard it a couple times, so perhaps it froze on a happier face for a while. We'll never know until later today. All right, well, thank you anybody for joining, and we'll be back.